Green light. Good morning, everybody. My name is Gary. I'm with Denver Guitar Orchestra. We are meeting on YouTube these days because we can't meet in real life. And what we're playing today is a whole bunch. I don't know, we got 8 or 10 songs that we're playing today. And I'm going to run over to the website and post this information on this live stream so that we can have everybody come in and join us. And running a couple minutes late today, so we'll see how much we get done. I was busy working on the website actually and just lost track of time, so here we are. Update. Alright, so that should get everybody in here. Let me make sure the link is working, and then we'll go post this on Twitter. Our website's denverguitarorchestra.com. If you go there, everything you need to know is on the front page. We have a few other pages for video archives, sheet music, news. I'm going to start the news up again because we're getting ready to go back to work, and stuff on certification, stuff that's going on here just in Denver, and so on. So it's a pretty good website. I hope that you go take a minute to look it over. All right, so the link is working properly. Let me go tweet us. https:// Denver Guitar Orchestra.com. Wait for that to pop up, and then I put on our logo, guitar PNG version of that. It's fancy, and bloop, there we go. And let's see. I have on Twitter. It's very interesting. I don't spend a ton of time on Twitter. I have a list called Crossword, and it's people that I know that are either involved in crossword puzzling or, creating crosswords, talking about crosswords, that sort of stuff. And anytime I find a crossword puzzle I'm particularly delighted with, I go see if they have a Twitter account, and those people tend to be pretty funny on Twitter. So I have a list of those people. Well, that list gets followed by lots and lots of other people, and I guess people are interested in learning either how to create crosswords or how to be involved with crosswords and so on. So, all right. So we always have a massive delay between what's going on the screen and how long it takes to get to your house, and so I am always probably talking. Things are happening in 2 different time continuums here on these broadcasts, and so I see, which I'm very excited about. Vic has made it in this morning. She's here, says the sound is good. She didn't say anything. You're welcome for the email, Vic. Glad to have you. Elizabeth, good morning. Sound is good. 12 seconds behind Denver. It's good. Elizabeth is 12 seconds behind. I think it depends on the day. It seems some days you guys are about 10, 12 seconds behind. Some days it's 30 seconds. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know what the difference is. Evelyn is in. She's in from Ecuador. 64 degrees, sunny down there in Cuenca. Beautiful day in Cuenca. We got a nice day here in Denver. We're supposed to be up in the upper 50s today and into the 60s tomorrow. So we're getting ready for a little bit of springtime around here. I'm going to have to go walk around the botanic. I live next door to the Botanic Gardens over here, and I like to walk around in the springtime and see the bulbs coming up and all that. So thank you guys all for being here. Those of you who have sent an email to me about the new Beatles tunes, I did respond to all of those tunes, all those emails this morning, so check your email. You should have gotten something, When I'm 64 and Strawberry Fields Forever. And I do apologize, it took me much longer to get those out than I wanted to, but I did play through them, I don't know, a good couple hours last night, and I feel like the arrangements are good. I really do. I'm really hoping that you like them, and that overall it's just gonna be a pleasant experience. I will warn you, those of you guys who got them, you want us to leave Strawberry Fields for last. It is kind of, it's you know how it is, right? Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry Field. The whole thing is very atonal, the way they sing it. And guess what? That shows up in the guitar program. That you end up with weird fingering because the chord and the melody don't necessarily get along so well. And so save that one for last. Go play something worked out, as far as I can tell, dead on perfect. And When I'm 64. When I'm 64, play that with a claw. It's bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-da bum 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 bum. That's what it's supposed to be, right? And so that one's supposed to be a little silly. Pauline is in. Thanks for the Thursday night music. You're welcome, Pauline. At 50 degrees, 55 and overcast in Northern California. So yeah. All right. So check your emails. If you sent me an email, you should have an email on those 3 tunes from the Beatles, which brings our total for the Thursday night class, which of course I missed last night because I was at the Condo Association board meeting, which is a little like going to the dentist. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 12 songs, and I don't have Imagine on here, so really we have 13 songs. 13 songs written by members of the Beatles that you have at your disposal. 13 songs is a good solid hour of music. In other words, if you wanted to call up your neighborhood winery and say, hey, are you guys cool if I came down and played classical guitar in the corner? And they'd be like, sure, come on down, what you got? And you say, well, I have an hour's worth of Beatles music. And they'd be like, sweet, everybody who drinks wine likes the Beatles. And there you go. That would be just that, right? And then, of course, you have all of the other songs from book 4. I would say get away with playing most songs from book 3. And, of course, now we're adding in some classical tunes. And so you could easily cover a 2-hour set at this point down. Now, it doesn't have to be the winery, right? Coffee shop, I don't know about coffee shops. They'd probably fight you on playing classical guitar in a coffee shop. I don't know, it depends on the coffee shop, I suppose. But yeah, Michelle by the Beatles is still on my list. Haven't started it, I don't think. I might have. But that's definitely coming, Vic. And I'm trying to remember. I have a handful of other ones in there that you guys have requested. But Michelle is my next plan to get after. I've got to. I have one person begging for When I'm 64 on ukulele, so I'm going to convert that to ukulele, and then I will probably this weekend begin work on a couple other Beatles tunes. I'd like to have 20 Beatles tunes by the end. Would be my goal. Arlo's in. I'm supposed to start giving lessons to a friend of mine's son, maybe as soon as this weekend. How exciting. Don't know what she wants to learn yet. Do you mind if I use some of yours to augment mine? Arlo, that's what it's there for. Seriously, you guys that come here all the time, I leave that stuff out there for you so that you can use it. Obviously, you bring your own particular flavor of playing guitar to stuff. But how old do we know how old this son is? If they're teenagers, you're doomed, right? Because they're going to want to play rock and roll. They're going to want an electric guitar, and Arlo, of course, you know your bar chords. So teach them 1-4-5. Hand them a chord book. Show them where ultimateguitar.com is, and then really you're done for about 5 years. But if they're younger, especially little kids, right? The chords are way too hard on guitar. I don't know why guitar teachers continue to teach chords to little kids. It's just the craziest thing. That's not what little kids want to do. They want to do. Don't you? I mean, seriously, that's what they want to do. And, he's 35. Oh, he's 35. Different story. Have him walk along, obviously showing, you are a tremendous guitar player, Arlo, so teach him the stuff that you know. But I would say in terms of having a structured program, I definitely think following the program over on our sheet music page, just having him march down all the way from book 1 into book 2 into book 3. I don't think there's a better way to learn how to play guitar the grown-up way. Than that. I own all of the other methods that are popularly used. I've gone through lots of them, and I would say that in terms of an adult who really doesn't care that much, at least initially, about theory, doesn't really care about singing, what they're really wanting to do is get songs to come out of their guitar, and yet you have to say, look, I know you don't want to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but that's how you get to play Eric Clapton. You have to go through that process. Eric Clapton went through the process of playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star before he became Eric Clapton, and you should do the same thing. And so I think just use whatever you feel like you want to off of that, Arlo. And all of you guys that are, you've got a friend who wants to start learning guitar or whatever, I think you sit them down, you show them Frere Jacques, and you tell them, yeah, I know you don't want to play Frere Jacques. I don't even play Frere Jacques, but you have to go through that in order to get to Simple Gifts, and you go through Simple Gifts to get to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and you go through Twinkle Twinkle Little Star to play Eric Clapton, or to play the Beatles, or to play whatever. And I think that that's true. That's the evidence that I have in my head that appears to be true, that even the greatest guitar players in the world started somewhere, and most of them started on of course these days most of them start, if they're a singer, it's a different program altogether. That's where you just focus in on chords and let them sing, and some people love that. But if they're not a singer, then I think that fingerstyle is probably the way to go. And so yeah, Arlo, use all of that. Any of that you find helpful, use that. And for me, the ongoing hardest discussion among adult learners is, I know you don't want to play. I know you don't want to play Daisy Bell. It's an old-fashioned song. I know you want to play Girls Just Want to Have Fun, or whatever that Billie Eilish has just put out. I know that's what you want to play. If I give you the tools to play all these old-fashioned songs, you can play that one, and you won't even care about playing that song once you finally get there. So that would be my thoughts, Arlo. But yeah, absolutely, feel free to use anything on the website that or anything I've given you over the years to get people started. I always warn, do occasionally get requests for private lessons for people who don't necessarily know me very well, and I tell them straight out, hey, I teach fingerstyle. That's what I teach. It's the current popular way to play guitar. I think it's the way adults want to play guitar. And if you just want to play, Pink Floyd's The Wall, go onto YouTube and have one of these 20-year-olds teach you how to play that one particular song. You won't learn how to play music, but you will learn how to play that one song. And that's another route that adults like to go through. I like, Journey's Don't Stop Believing, and so how to play Journey's Don't Stop Believing on guitar, and YouTube will provide you with enough information on how to play. You just don't learn about how music works that way, and so it's always that's a sort of not a fight necessarily, but a difference in approach that I have, and I just think I'd much rather you be good at playing everything than being really good at playing one thing. So, all right, let's grab your Segovia Patterns. It's Friday. I think we decided yesterday. IM's on Monday, MR's on Tuesdays, IR's on Wednesdays, Potpourri on Thursdays and Fridays, right? So let's do it. Segovia Pattern, first measure, 1, 2, ready, play. Breathe during that thing. All right, and then let's go grab the A major scale off of your 5 patterns. That is measure number 4. Key of A has 3 sharps in it. All your C's are sharp, all your F's are sharp, and all of your G's are sharp, and that obviously then affects your fingering on here. From the bottom to the top, there is no position change. you're just going to have to slide up one fret at the very top of the scale to get 5, and then slide back down. So I don't know if you'd really consider that even a position change. From the top, 2 times through. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a lovely scale. I like that one. And guys, of course, you probably have figured this out at this point, but it's not unimportant. You can take that exact same scale, but every time and move it up the fretboard, right? It will adjust the fingering that you probably have to use, because now your zeros become 1s, and now you can play an A sharp and a B and a different C scale and so on. All using those same patterns. So eventually we'll talk more about how to make scales move up the fretboard to get access to the other scales. All right, very good. We're warmed up. We're ready to play. This is our final day for Brother John. Let's go knock that out. Ding, ding, ding. Book 1, Song 1. This again is what I think is the most important song in our entire song repertoire. How many songs do we have now? I'm gonna go peek. I'm gonna go peek and see how many songs we have on the website. Let's take a look. Be exciting. We have almost 150 now. Looks like 146. Is that right? 146 tunes. All right, from the top. This is the best. This is the most important one. Let's play. I'll play melody, you play chords, then you play melody, and I'll play chords. So I'm going to do melody first. 1, 2, ready, play. If that song makes sense, everything else in the program makes sense. I hope. All right, let's go grab exercise 13. Exercise 13, please. And let's make these 8 measures sing. Exercise 13. Again, for those of you guys that are either just checking in, just popping in or whatever, I am preparing my audition tape to get into Metro State University here in Denver, and in so doing, I have taken the songs that are on the list of recommended audition pieces for our videotapes and set them up in our format here at beautiful downtown Denver Guitar Orchestra.com, and that way we're all playing. And by the time we get done with this, you'll be able to make your video as well. All right, from the top, it's just one time through. Let's take our time. It's not a fast song at all. 1, 2. Time. Made a couple mistakes from the top. 1, 2. That last note ring. It's a dotted half note, which we would tend to treat at least as a whole note. Let that last note ring a little bit there. I think it sounds pretty. Hopefully that's going well for you. How are we playing today? You guys are pretty quiet so far today. I'm very chatty and you guys are very quiet. So I think that's a beautiful song, don't you? I like the melody. I think the playability is really there. It gets kind of interesting at measure 7, and the ending is really, really sweet. Let's go grab Moorish Dance. This is a harder one of the week. And let's see how we do with that one. Again, we had a typo on here and I didn't repost it, and I apologize. Measure 3, the very last note is showing that it's an E and it's really supposed to be a D. So I would change that on the standard notation, change it from an E to a D. What I did is just made the dot bigger below the line. And then on the tablature, instead of playing a 2 there, you're going to play a 0 on that same string. So it's 2, 3, 0. And that's our tablature. So Vic's there. She's killing it. All right. So that's good. All right. Moorish Dance. I do think holding the chord shapes for the most part is sort of helpful on this. This one's supposed to be played a little bit faster than the last song, but I don't think that's a good idea at all. Well, that's not necessarily true. This is designed with quarter notes at 88, and the other one's really designed as an 8th note piece. So let's take our time and be nice. Don't rush, and see what we come up with. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, sorry. Let's go from 3, ready, play. Gosh darn it. sorry, from measure 9. 1, 2, ready, play. Page. Oof, I made kind of a mess of that. Let me see. Let's do it one more time from the top. Pretty interesting song. You get your chord shapes on right. For me, the hard part is doing the bass runs. Getting the strings 2 and 3. We're doing these little runs on there. Either not necessarily runs, but up and down on the right. And finding my bass strings is being a little bit of a challenge here. So let's see if I can do better from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh God, Gary. 1, 2, ready, play. First string. Oh, and remember, I blew that. You do have a rest at the end of that, so make sure you're shutting your guitar off right before you get to the end there. We're gonna obviously carry that over into the next week, and we'll carry all these songs over into next week. So I'm gonna spend a little bit more time on that one. I think I know I can play that one better. Getting confused on strings a lot for some reason. Let's go do Prelude Number 19. Prelude Number 19 or 9. Prelude number 9. This song didn't have a ton to it, but it's a great opportunity to practice arpeggio patterns, which you guys are all experts on anyway. From the top, 1, 2, 3. Let me start again with E minor. 1, 2, 3. Turn it off. Okay, let it ring a little bit longer than a quarter note, but not a lot longer, and then turn it off. Again, for you guys that have been hanging around on this with what we're doing here, this business of arpeggio picking, we do that from the very beginning, right? It's just one of those things, and then and this one has basso ostinato, which means you're just going to do the same thing on the bass no matter what, and so just hitting that E consistently, the E string over and over and over throughout the whole entire piece, it creates a weird bit of tension in some of the chords where the E has no business being. Basically, the entire last half of the song is D chords, and there's this E keeps ringing through there, and it's like, what is that doing there? And we're just waiting for that to come back and resolve itself in the E minor. So kind of an interesting piece in that regard. All right. Vic says, hey, that Moorish song is hard. Vic, did you see me struggling with it? Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, so we're gonna conquer it next week, Vic. You and I, we're gonna make it part of our repertoire. All right, Prelude number 9, not near as hard. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it. We will. We'll get it. I have faith in us. Let's go grab Torito, please. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're going to get through everything today. Good. So let's go grab Torito. PQRST. This is another one of arpeggio picking. The only weird part of the arpeggio picking is it measures 7, where it's not really an arpeggio. It's sort of a repeated note. And then remember, the first half is in A major. The second half switches to A minor. And the entire thing is written on an A minor blank. That's why you see the sharps and flats start sneaking in up there above. It's also why you'll get all these kind of weirder tonalities up above and a little bit easier to get along with tonalities down below. Remember, my favorite part of this song is the end. I just love this ending. Try to pay attention a little bit to dynamics here. We don't talk about that often enough. We're starting off pretty quiet and getting a little louder and coming back down. Then at measure 5, starting off with whatever the same volume is, and then getting quite a bit louder and coming back down. And then at measure 11, starting off pretty loud, getting super loud, coming back down. Same thing, measure 15, getting louder, as loud as you can play at 17, and bringing it back down. From 17 down to the very end, big old decrescendo all the way from forte down to pianissimo. And I think on guitar, pianissimo is hard to appreciate for an audience because you still have to play loud enough for them to hear it. But when you're sitting at your house, you can really do pianissimo. Right? Nobody's got to hear that except you. And so take advantage of your opportunity while you're locked away at your house to do that. All right, let's give it a try. Let's see how we do. I have been using thumb, index, middle, index on this because I think it's the most reliable. You could use index, middle, ring. You could do that pattern as well. I think both. Probably practice it both ways and see which way you like better. From the top, I'll just count in 2 and then we'll go. 1, 2. And I'm letting that last chord ring for as long as my guitar will cooperate. So if when I get there, it's quiet, and just hold on to that, and just listen for your guitar to really be done. I got a fermata over a last chord. That means just hold it until it dies away. It's a pretty little tune. Hopefully both of those last two tunes are they're quite a bit easier than Moorish, right? And really focusing in on paying attention to the pattern. That's the nice part. You can see it on guitar in the standard notation that there's definitely a pattern going on there. The nice part about the tablature is it makes it very obvious that, because in classical music they don't put the chords on, right? So you're playing this measure 1, and as you're looking through the standard notation, it's not all that clear that all you really need to do is just slide up to these 3 fingers from your A position to your B position, and you're done. The standard notation confuses that quite a bit, but the chord and the tablature make it painfully clear. And so if you are walking through a standard book of classical guitar music, you'd look at that and go, gosh, that looks like an Irish jig. It's just this same sort of fluctuating pattern where there's minor modification into it, but it's set up to be quite clear. You're going to do here, and go here, and come back, and you're going to take it off. And so I think both systems help play off of each other. Boy, that standard notation makes it so clear. You're going to be playing arpeggio patterns. You're going to be playing all these notes, a lot of them in a row, as evenly as you can. And then the tablature really helps you just identify the best fingering choices. And the whole thing, I think the two work together pretty nicely. Okay. Finally, our what was it called? Lesson 61 or something? Lesson 61 is our final song for today. I think next week, you guys give me a little bit of feedback. I am needing to stay on this stuff pretty heavily for the next week, and so if you positively hate doing this stuff, let me know. And you could say it that way. I'm tough-skinned enough to know that you don't like everything I do. And we could switch out. We could definitely have some book 2 stuff added in there. or even some book 3 stuff added in next week. If you're like, gosh, Gary is driving me crazy with with him getting ready to make a video of this stuff. If you're okay with playing it, let me know if you're okay with playing this pretty heavily again next week. I need to do that, and so it will probably, unless you guys have a general uprising and say, nope, I don't, I need to get back to books 2 and 3, we can do that as well. And then I'll just show up an hour early to work on this stuff. But let me know how you're feeling about it. If you're okay generally with continuing on playing this stuff, I'd appreciate it, because I really do need to get as familiar with... I think Moorish Dance and Lesson 61 are definitely the 2 songs that I need the most work on, and we could focus it in around just those 2 next week. So any of that stuff, this is you guys' time as well, and I want it to be valuable to you. And make it worth showing up. So let's play Lesson 61, then you'll put your thoughts in the chat bar, or send me an email this weekend, one of the 2, and then we'll make plans for next week based on what you guys tell me. Lesson 61, 3-beat count-in. Boy, it's set up to be pretty fast. It's supposed to be a fast song. 132 is about as fast as we would ever play anything. And so we're going to play at half that speed right now. 1, 2, 3. Boy, I got all these notes on how to play measure 26 through the end, and I ignored every single one of them. So, ouch. Ugh, that's not good. All right, so Lesson 61 for sure is going to be heavy duty next week, as well as Moorish, whatever we call it, the Moorish song. So, what is the name of that? Moorish Dance. So Moorish Dance and Lesson 61 will be in heavy rotation next week. If you guys are okay with playing the other 3 pieces again next week, that would be my first thought. However, if you want to get continue on with Book 2 and Book 3 stuff, let me know and toss it in the chat bar here, or send me an email. Again, this week, or this morning, I sent out the 3 new Beatles songs, so all of you who sent me an email already have it. If you did not get it, please send me an email, and I will send you those so that you're ready for next Thursday night. Next Thursday, we will play through all 3 of those new songs, and I don't remember where we left off going through the list. I think we made it through Norwegian Wood and maybe Obla Di Obla Da. Remember, Penny Lane is pretty hard to play. I can tell you When I'm 64 is going to be hard to play. The rest of those are not terribly difficult, and they're all difficult and not difficult compared to some of the other stuff we've done. So we'll be planning a Thursday night meeting next week with all of the Beatles tunes. I think I probably ought to clean up Imagine and put that into the list just so that we have a complete representation of everything there. And then hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Please, give some thought to doing a random kind of act of kindness for somebody. Make a banana bread for somebody, right? Get your vaccine the minute that it's available to you. I finally am available. I'm finally on the eligible list, so I am going to spend the weekend trying to chase down a shot. Guys, this stuff you have to practice a little bit on. So spend about try to spend 30 minutes a day just sitting down with your music and just enjoy playing too, right? Continue to show up here. That's the difference between those guys who can play and those guys who can't, or who used to play, I guess I should say, is the willingness to show up. If you're logged into Gmail or YouTube, if you would press like or subscribe on those buttons down there, I'd appreciate it. And we don't have membership for this thing, so it's totally free for now, and that will be true at least into the fall. I'm planning on playing through the summer on this stuff, and so there's no charge for anything. Just keep showing up. So that's it. That's what I know. Let's see. Elizabeth says, which two will you play for the video? I haven't quite decided, Elizabeth. I do. Alex sent me an email that he'd like to have another lesson with me, and I anticipate having a chat with him about that. I think the video is a formality. I think. So I would probably go with one of the easier ones. But if it isn't, honestly, if they'd like to see what I can play, I would rather just play something off of our regular playlist. Play Paper Moon or play Moon River or play one of those. So I'm going to chat with him about that, about how seriously I need to take this. If it's just a formality, like they just need to see me holding a guitar and plucking something out, then I will probably go with some of the easier ones on here. If they'd really like to see me play, then Lesson 61 and Moorish Dance would be the obvious two more difficult songs. And then, of course, if they want to, see other stuff that I'm doing. So I'm going to chat with him about that. I have a hard time. I am such a little kid when it comes to school. I'm like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it sort of guy. I've never been particularly willing to have a meaningful conversation with my professors, and so I'm trying to be more of a grown-up and have that conversation. And so I'm going to try to set up a meeting with him next week. He's on spring break. He says, Gary, why don't you give me a call? We'll have a lesson. So I'm going to try to do that next week as well. Nancy, I like the challenge of the Moorish Dance in Lesson 61. I like the challenge too. If I can get that last measure done, that's going to be a pretty cool sound. And then especially if you can get it up to speed. Bum 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 bum. That's going to be a fun song if I can get it up to speed. And so let's keep working on them. Happy to play these songs until we learn them. Okay, so Pauline's down with these songs. I'm fine doing these exercises with maybe one. Let's toss in a normal song. Yeah, right. I like that normal song, right, Vic? We're not allowed to use the word normal in modern society anymore. But I know what you mean, right? Awesome, Evelyn. Thank you for being here, Vic. Good to see you, Arlo. I did not get the latest Beatles song, Arlo. I may not have sent you one. Let me. I'll get you one. And let me just. I can add you on real quick, Arlo. I apologize. I will send it to you here momentarily. Okay? All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. I will see all of you on Monday. Have a great weekend.